One Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker, checking in for a daily Move Swiftly thought, giving you a perspective on teamwork you will not get anywhere else where we do not, hear me, we do not teach you to rise to the occasion here, but what we do teach you to do is to fall to your level of preparation. Nice, solid. I'll say a solid 4 miles in today. Beautiful weather. This is why people move to South Florida, folks. This right here, this absolutely gorgeous weather. I say it now, hour or two might go by and you might see a thunderstorm, but that passes pretty quickly, and then we get back to this beautiful weather. All right, so as far as today's Move Swiftly thought, I want to jump in on this ring culture debate that's been going around throughout the week. Recording this, by the way, it is June 21st, 2025, and throughout the week, it's Saturday. Tomorrow's Sunday. We got a big Game 7, so big time in the National Basketball Association. We have the season going on, and with the season ending, once that ends, we're back to a real sport, right? So just messing around, back to football. I'm a football guy, but I do enjoy watching basketball, and I'm excited to tune into this Game 7 between OKC and Indiana tomorrow. But the King James, GOAT James, LeBron, the GOAT James, has been in the news this week, and that's my GOAT. That's my guy. Seeing that, grew up in his time, in his era, and stuff like that. So he's kind of on the back end of his career, and he does this podcast named Mind the Game Podcast with Steve Nash. Formerly used to be with J.J. Redick, who's now his head coach with the Los Angeles Lakers. So he does this Mind the Game podcast with Steve Nash, and he made this statement about, where did this ring culture thing come from, where you have to win a ring to be great and yada, 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 all that rhetoric. And then, whenever LeBron says something, okay, the entire sports media, sports broadcasting world has to respond. It's newsworthy stuff. So you got a lot of people who obviously you understand what he said, because, again, as an Iverson fan too, Barkley and, whether it's Dan Marino, whatever it is, and he compared sports, Barry Bonds, whatever it is. A lot of great players out there who have not won a ring, and you can't say they're just not great players because they didn't win a ring. And then here comes Mr. Stephen A. Smith and all the talking heads on TV who say, oh, well, LeBron wasn't saying that when he came to South Beach and started talking about he going to win 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6, not 7. He won one then, and he had to go back to Cleveland to win one, and he won one in L.A. and all that. They're saying it, it's kind of contradicting compared to the fact that, he was the one that wanted his legacy to be of a certain legacy, so he had to win a ring, yada, 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 which, again, both sides of the argument, it's very understood. But the point I think that needs to be made, and what you got to understand and take away from this, is the reason that it's starting to be said, the reason that's become so prevalent in regards to, you got to win a ring to be considered a great player, is because of the birth of Sports Debate TV. What has happened since LeBron has become LeBron James, from St. Vincent, St. Mary all the way to now to the end of his career, is the social media and the sports debates have gone absolutely viral. Sports debates and sports TV, and what gets the views and what gets the likes and what gets the ratings to go up is this comparative thing. And what ultimately, and unfortunately in his situation, he's always being compared to Michael Jordan. So they're always going to be, Jordan never lost in the finals, and LeBron lost like five finals or something like that. I think he went like 4 of 10 or something like that in the finals. I know he won 4, but he's been to 8 straight finals, which is, again, another thing that's unprecedented. So the point of it is, when you're talking about moving forward, and this is the way it translates to you as a business owner, is when you're talking about moving forward, you got to understand the things around you more and more. You got to understand the things around you and how the things around you are going to affect the way the perception is of how great something is or great somebody is. Because what LeBron says is a very valid point, especially, even Stephen A. Smith would agree. Again, huge Allen Iverson fan. One of the greatest supporters of Allen Iverson there is out there is Stephen A. Smith, and he would understand 1,000%. Look, you're not going to tell anybody that Allen Iverson isn't great because he didn't win a ring. That's just ridiculous to say. So you have to understand that when you have this big conglomerate in terms of sports debate, sports TV, the perception of what somebody is great at, all that kind of stuff, it plays a role. So be cognizant of that as you're moving forward, as you're putting your plans together, as you're putting your businesses together. How is the thing going to be? And then how is the thing going to be perceived based on the relevancy of all of the outside factors that are involved, all right? So all that being said, again, I will teach you all about this stuff. This is what I do, okay, folks? This is what I do. I will teach you all about this stuff. Main website to check out. Again, be sure you're liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing this out to anybody that needs to hear it. Main website to check out to dive deeper into all of this work. It's makeyourmove.com. That's MakeYamove.com. One-stop shop for your teamwork and your self-development needs. As one, Crookshank, your one and only Move Swiftly speaker. Check it out. You guys continue to move swiftly. We will talk more soon.